So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing a photo shoot for an influencer. Let's do this! Okay, so the photo shoot went great. Here's some footage of that. So the three main things that I want to talk to you about today are composition, which is way different when you're doing influencer work, location scouting, which is always important, and technique, which is like general for like every photos ever. Okay, so composing for an influencer, that's a very interesting topic. You really want to go through their Instagram feed, through wherever they're mainly post, and you want to see what their needs are, because you really want to give them the photos they need and not just those they want. Okay. What I've noticed when looking around Justin's feed on Instagram, that he does a lot of information and a lot of stuff that he likes to inform his followers about. So he needs a lot of photos with some dead space, so they both could see his face and the prompts or the quotes or whatever information you want to put on his photos, right? So that's the kind of things that you need to think about before shooting. You want to give them the photos with the dead space, the vertical photos for the stories, the vertical photos with a dead space for the stories. So all that you need to take under consideration before you start shooting, because you really want to give them the whole package, not just cool photos with a lot of bokeh and stuff like that. You want to give them usable stuff. Okay, so what I figured out that every location has two different positions. Okay, basically the smack dab in the middle, let's give them the photos of any tourist will probably take in front of the main building or the main event or the main whatever, or we can go back, circle around the perimeter and find a spot that is just not populated enough but still beautiful enough to take a picture at. So let's take the couple building as an example. Yes, we could have taken a shot smack dab in the middle in front of the couple building, and we did that. But we circled around the perimeter and we found a little grassy area. Justin decided to lay down, and I was wrong with that. So yeah, a little bit of improvisation on the spot about locations. Great results. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about technique. Here is something interesting. Everyone knows that if you want to create a background separation, you want to take the subject away from the background, right? But what if you want to make the background closer to your subject and still create that background separation? That's when you want to use a longer focal length. So I'm using the 75mm mostly. I have the 28 to 75 2.8. That's beautiful. The longer the focal length is, the much closer. Let me show you. Let me just show you. Okay, you see that? You see me standing right here? You see the background, right? But if I'll do this, look how much closer the background is. And I'm not that further from the camera. So, yeah. Yeah, use a longer focal length. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so two quick things. Crop and color. While cropping, especially the vertical photos, you want to crop it to 18:9. So I just go to like crop, enter custom 18:9, and you're golden. Second thing is editing the photo itself. So what I do is I'll boost up the contrast, take the exposure a little bit down, highlights I don't want it there, shadows I want to retain back the detail in the shadows, and make sure you shoot raw. That will give you a lot of flexibility in post. And this is the what I call Peter McKillen slide. Just a little bit of pop to the photo. Now vibrance, I want a lot of vibrance and a lot of saturation. Now be careful with that, it's really easy to overdo, so just take it easy, make it pop but not too much, and basically you're golden. If you want a little bit of contrast back, you can do a little bit of a curve just to bring things back to like contrasty and interesting. And you can add a little bit of split toning on
on the highlights, I like to add a little bit of blues, and on the shadows, a little bit of purple to compensate for the A7 III's horrible skin tone. So yeah, that's how you get it. Poppy, not too much, but good to go. Now back to the crazy dude who takes time lapses on the street.
Okay, so that was a very interesting experience. Thank you so much to Justin. Make sure you follow him. I'll leave his links in the description down below. Oh yeah, and a couple of small tips. Variations of clothing, that's important. I didn't think about that, but actually kudos to Justin who brought with him a couple of shirts and another pair of jeans. This would make sure that all those photos that we took could be used for a very long period of time without them looking too repetitive and like too on the nose, that the fact that we shot them all in one day. And another tip is, like, I found that the low angle shooting up is the most flattering one because it's empowering, but don't be afraid to experiment with tight shots, with wide shots, with extreme close-ups, because the variation is key here. And the more variation you got, the more the influencer will be able to use those photos for different stuff. So yeah, that's important. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. I'm just starting all this YouTube journey. If you liked it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and maybe consider subscribing and turning on the bell and do all that good stuff. That does help a lot. And I would love to hear from you in the comment section down below, because that's a new experience for me that I want to learn from and I want to grow from. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.